the other day, just for example, these ewes prior to shearing, they'd all, these have all had lambs and whatever else, but did I want them all? Well, when they were coming through classing them, we'd be looking at, just visual for a start. We know that if they've had some lambs, there's ewes there that have had 6 lambs in the last 3 years. They're the sort of ones that we want. As Anthony's doing now, the mothering score, which is going into the paddock of each group of ewes and birth weighing the lamb when she's a little baby, putting it in the back of that box there and weighing it, and also the mother. If it sits there, it's a 1. If it goes out and then comes back, it's a 2. At the end of the day, if it's a 5 and runs off down the paddock and it's gone, well, she's a 5. Well, that's that bad mothering ability that the merinos aren't that flash at, and we're going to try and help that by technology. Well, when we're going through these ewes, there's a nice looking ewes come through, but they were 5s. They're mad, and we don't want to breed that. So that's the sort of thing that we're now taking to another level, because I'm talking to people that had merinos, they're composites. Why are we going to composites? Because a lot of our merinos aren't good enough in fertility. But with technology and all that, we can make our merinos better as a breed. Everybody's trying to make their breed better than they are, sheep and cattle. But if we can make our merinos better to have more lambs and rear them, and our rams that we're putting into the stud now, a lot of them are twins. Their mothers had 2 or 3 twins. So that's going to help that facility side, and it's just by about hitting the tag, that one's good, that one's not. And it's all there. The history is all there. Where, all my life I've looked at you, and I'd just love to know what its history is and what its performance has been. So this is real-time performance we can just get by hitting the screen, and it just comes up. And I find that as a stud classer and breeder, absolutely invaluable. And I wouldn't have been able to do it the way that I used to do it, I'm afraid. And this has taken it to a new level. So even in our commercial ewes, we make half our ewes, or as many as we possibly can, to white Suffolks. And the ones that are out there, the twins, there's ewes there that have twins every year. Well, they're the ones that we keep, and they go right through, they're going over the clock, they're gone, they're blacks and white tags, they're probably 10 years old, 11 years old. If they're having a lamb every year, we'll keep them, rather than the one that might have one and then drop off. So we're getting more and more history. The first couple of years, you'd look at a ewe and there wasn't much history, but now we're getting more and more history as we're 3 or 4 years into it. It's getting more and more valuable to us. And you can really take the whole breeding and the management side to another level because of it. And I find that good. The other thing I found a bit difficult was that how in the hell are we going to draft these sheep? If it wasn't for the auto drafter, you can't damn well do it. So you do have to invest in all that side. Because I'd be drafting off tags and I'd be putting discs in there, who they're mated to and all that, very, very manual and labour. It could be done, that's how I used to do it, but now you can just stand back here and as they go through, as you could be going 3, 4 ways, or 3 ways, whatever you want to do, just stand back. So for us running our business to try and make things better and better, sheep, cattle or whatever, it's making giving us big gains, I believe, in running our commercial and or studying enterprise to make our whole farming enterprise more profitable, which we have to do to compete against personally us against the composites, against sheep and cattle, try and get our cattle just as profitable, trying to get our sheep more profitable. So it's making a lot of difference to us, and it's actually starting to save us labour now. Out on the main road, we've got a decent set of cattle yards out, sheep yards out on the main road there. We'd be drafting off our white Suffolk lambs. Well, we'd have a target of 42 kilos, only wethers, and because the ewe lambs were being sold as a store job. Bang, you just stand back, I'd be drafting them, the ewes off, lambs off, and they'd be going in. The ewes would be going out there and the lambs would basically following through. And pretty well by the time I'd finished drafting, we had those lambs split, one way, we'd just taken off the heavy wethers, for example, and the little ones and the ewe lambs would go straight ahead, or whatever it wanted to do. And that's just, we had it set up where the ewes would walk past there and the lambs would just be sitting there waiting to go through, click, click, click. You'd have a bloke there just in case something went wrong, but that was all we had to do. And you'd have them just drafted like that. And that's starting to get somewhere when we get to that. So that's
the thing for us, or for myself, is that I think EID and auto drafters are going to do for the sheep and cattle people what GPS and auto steer and that did for the croppers. Because we're actually getting what did GPS bring to the cropping game? it brought precision in what they do, and it brought a lot of data back to them as well. I think with the EIDs and the auto drafters, we're actually getting the same sort of data back on our land that what the croppers and that did, and that's what drives innovation. You know, you're getting a lot of data back, and it's making, well, the auto drafters is making it easier, so you're getting better labour, same as what the auto steer and that did, and the GPS is the same as EID. It's just about tracking what you're actually doing, tracking each individual animal or each individual, you know, hectare or whatever that was in the cropping. So I think that's this sort of technology is going to do to our businesses what the GPS and that did to the croppers, which I think's huge. And if you're a cropper 20 years ago, just starting with your GPS, I'm sure you'd be driving along there sometimes, and then you'd be just going like that, and it'd be taking you off in the wrong spot, or you know, running into the fence or something like that. I'm sure there would have been a lot of that happening. So it'll be the same now with this EID and auto drafters and that sort of stuff. There's going to be a few mistakes along the way, but you know, after 3 or 4 years, you really do start to iron those things out, and then you're starting to get right down to the pointy end of it. Yeah.
Well, that's really about the advantages, which I think is huge in our business anyway. And I'm sure most people could take it. You've got to be a little bit technologically advanced. I'm not that great. If it wasn't for Anthony and some of these guys here, I probably would struggle. Because when it's going, it's all right, but when it stops, that's my problem. And that's why we have to make phone calls sometimes.
That's why we have a support desk.
Yeah. But that's the way of the world these days.
Yep.
And it's a little bit like in the cropping game. If you didn't go into the GPSs and auto steers and that sort of stuff and really embrace that technology, you were almost chewed up and spit out of the industry a little bit. Would that be a fair comment? That you know, you don't see people going around with 20-row combines anymore and a 65 pulling it. So that the cropping people have evolved with the times. So I think this EID sort of stuff is something that if you do embrace it and get along with it, no matter what age you are, then you know, I think 15, 20 years down the road, you know, everyone's going to be doing this sort of stuff, and you won't be a good sheep farmer if you're not doing it. So I think it's important for everyone, no matter what age you are, to embrace it and just come along and just try it out. And it's not going to work every time, but once you do start to, after 2 or 3 years, you'll be really starting to get your head across it. And you know, I don't know how many times we'd be in the yards and something wouldn't be working, and you know, you ring up either Scotty from True Test or ring New Zealand True Test people just to help you out, and or Rob or the people at Sapien trying to walk us through what to do. There's support people out there just to help you get through it, and then you'll get back on, and it might take you an extra 3 or 4 hours the first time, but then the next time you'll know what the problem was, so it'll work properly. And then once you start getting all that data back on, you know, the fertility side of it and that, yeah, you'll really start to get somewhere, and you'll know there'll be no passengers in your flock.
And of course, EIDs, everybody has to have it now anyway. So,
Yeah.
I mean, for our biosecurity, for our industry, and you know, traceability and all that, it's here, and it's not going to go away, and it's good, and we can embrace it. I mean, we've had, you know, a lot of areas have gone into cropping and all that. A lot of it because of technology, as Anthony said. We don't want to lose our valuable grazing enterprises and that to these other industries if we can do it by a little bit of smart technology and whatever else. So, you know, we've lost a lot. Our merino guys, personally, have lost a lot to composites. Now, I reckon that we can catch them now, if not beaten them now, with what we're doing with our genetics, which is helped by this stuff, plus the wool price, all those sort of things. So we don't want to lose our industries to other industries because we're almost lazy and we're not taking up, you know, modern technology if it's there. So it's just a matter of getting in the game and running with it and win with it and profiting by it. So that's why we're doing it, and it's working quite nicely most of the time.
Good. All right, well, I think we can run a few more sheep through and then do some demonstrations over here, and then I want people to ask questions, and you've come here to find out stuff, so you need to start asking questions.